This week on the Bubble Chat.
It is not a line in the sand, baby. This is a tattoo in the skin. Dealing with that,
classic.
yes. With that man, the color of orange living in the color of white rice. No, yeah, that's like a Jammy Jam stain on Easter linen.
That is such a heavy weight to carry, especially when you think of someone as your close friend. And then there's this whole situation with the rest of the cast while watching this docuseries.
That I look at it is, it was targeted. There's no other way to not look at that. They saw a little black girl and thought, that's the one, we're going to bug up her day. That's how I look at it.
Having $1 million in your bank account doesn't put you above the law.
Politely made type of law where you can't record celebrities' children without their consent.
Right.
Now that's cool and lovely, but those are children. I hate to say it. I'm not saying that they don't deserve respect, but at that stage, we probably don't care about them as much.
Hey there, everyone, and welcome back to another episode. Hey there, everyone. Welcome back to another motherfucking episode of The Bubble Chat. I am so incredibly glad that you have decided to hang out with us today. Whether you're listening while working on a project, hitting the gym, or just catching a breather in your room, I want to thank you so much for letting me be the voice in your ear for a little while. Now, we got a lot on our minds today, and I can't wait to dive into it with you all.
As we settle into this episode, I realize that we are stepping into a really significant time of the year. Believe it or not, March is already here, which means we are officially kicking off Women's History Month and my birth month. Pisces party. It's such a vital time to pause and reflect on the incredible women who have paved the way for us, the creators, the fighters, and the quiet forces of nature who rarely get the credit they deserve. Let's not forget that March 8th is International Women's Day. And honestly, it feels like the perfect heartbeat for everything we're going to discuss today. It's a day to recognize the global impact of women, but also a reminder to support the women in our own lives who keep the world turning.
On this show, we've always been about sharing stories and finding those bubble moments where we can just be real with each other. So throughout this month, I want to make sure we're lifting up those voices and honoring the history that brought us to where we are today. There is so much power in our shared experiences, and I'm feeling extra inspired to explore that all with you.
So let's jump right into the heart of it. We've got some great topics lined up, a few laughs, and maybe a little bit of food for thought to carry you through the rest of your week. Take a deep breath and get real motherfucking comfortable. And let's get into this conversation. You're listening to The Motherfucking Bubble Chat again, and we are officially in session. Now, as the Queen Wendy Williams of Talk once said, it's time for hot topics, and how you doing?
How you doing?
Doing good.
Well, moving right along into our first big story of the day. And child, it's a heated one. So get your popcorn ready. We have to talk about what went down on The View this past weekend with Savannah Chrisley, who was one of the guest co-hosts filling in for Alyssa Fair Griffin this past week while she was on maternity leave to take care of her little baby. Congratulations to her. Savannah joined the table to promote her new book, but things took a sharp turn left when conversations shifted to politics and her support for Donald Trump. Savannah attempted to argue that the media unfairly labels Trump as racist or sexist, suggesting that the descriptions aren't rooted in reality. And y'all, let me tell you something. It did not take long for Sunny Hostin and Whoopi Goldberg to school Savannah with a history lesson. They immediately pushed back, with Sunny pointing out that many people view his past rhetoric and policies as direct evidence of the labels rather just a media spin. The tension when Savannah claimed that people are simply afraid to support him, leading Whoopi to shut down the segment by essentially saying that everyone is entitled to their opinion, but facts are facts. It was one of those moments where you could feel the temperature in the room rising through the screen. Savannah Chrisley argued that labels like racist are just media constructs, while the women of The View argued that they are based on documented actions. Do you guys think it's possible for a daytime talk show to have such a nuanced political debate anymore, or are the lines already too deeply drawn for anyone to just change their mind?
It's not. It is not a line in the sand, baby. There's a tattoo in the skin. Dealing with that,
Oh, classic.
yes. With that man, the color of orange living in the color of white rice. No. Yeah. That's like a Jammy Jam stain on Easter linen.
Personally like racy topics and when they get kind of like heated, but sometimes people don't know when to just agree to disagree. It's okay to have your opinion, and I may not agree with you, but don't like try to tell me I'm wrong. And the reason why I'm wrong is because you got a PhD in bullshit, you know?
Look, Whoopi, don't
So
hang
that's
me
just
with
how
your
I feel.
8-inch dreadlock. Whoopi, don't hang me with your
Yeah.
8-inch dreadlock.
How you feel about it, Joanne?
All right, look, I'm gonna try my absolute hardest to stay grounded and avoid spreading misinformation and keeping this from becoming just another clapback session. But I have to be real with y'all. I 1,000,000% disagree with what Savannah had to say. I feel
Thank
like
you.
what Savannah had to say was she's basically arguing that people have unfairly labeled Trump as a racist or a sexist. And her evidence, a story about Trump helping out a black friend of hers. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm genuinely glad her friend is okay. That's great. But using a single anecdote about helping one individual as a get out of jail free card to claim that he isn't racist, I'm sorry. That just makes absolutely no sense to me. Because we have to look at the broader reality here. According to the data from the Independent, surveys have shown that nearly twice as many Americans believe he is a racist compared to those who don't, regardless of how much he denies it. And we aren't
Hmm.
just pulling this out of thin air. There are endless Exhibit A's, B's, and C's to look at. Just this past month, we saw an AI clip on X or Twitter of Barack Obama and Michelle Obama, while where they were referred to as apes, and he didn't even offer the apology. We all he because we all because we all know what that is. Using monkey or an ape related term as a slur against black people is one of the most dehumanizing tropes in history because it was literally designed to equate people of African descent with animals to justify violence and systemic oppression because there is no
Yeah.
nuance here. Then you look at the slogan, Make America Great Again. Since he returned to office in 2025, you've seen exactly what that looks like in practice. The administration has launched these massive, intensified ICE raids, which is in the largest deportation operation in our history. We're talking proactive sweeps of workplace and residential areas, resulting in thousands of arrests every single day. And at the end of the day, people need to stop acting like having a friend who is a person of color somehow exempts you from being racist because it doesn't work like that.
I
Period.
want to
And
go
point
back to the
blank.
monkey comment. If you was to shave a primate, it look like a white man.
Or pink.
And I also wanted to say is as Savannah was giving her opinion, I don't know if any of you saw it. I don't know if you watched that episode, but Sunny was like shaking her head and like no girl, I disagree with you. Like she just shake her head like no.
Yeah, I'm all for women having different opinions, but I don't know. I feel like her opinion, she just should have just read the room. She should have just read the room. Nobody in there is a Trump avid supporter, you know?
All right, moving on to some reality TV nostalgia that's getting messy all over again. Like shit on the wall. We have to talk about Jay Manuel's recent comments regarding the ANTM docuseries. Jay actually called out Tyra Banks for her reaction or lack thereof to the infamous Shandy Sullivan story from season 2. Now, if you've been a long-time listener, you know this is something that we actually talked about before on the show. We've broken down the problematic top model moments, but Jay is bringing it all back to the spotlight and in full circle. He basically said it's hard to believe Tyra's current take on how things were handled back then. In the docuseries, Jay suggests that the production was more involved in the drama than Tyra lets on, especially concerning that heartbreaking phone call to Shandy's boyfriend after she allegedly cheated. Jay is essentially saying that the sympathy shown on camera didn't always match the reality of how they were pushing for ratings behind the scenes. It's definitely reigniting that conversation about how we view reality TV back in the early 2000s versus how we see it now. Since we've touched on the toxicity of early reality TV before, do you think Tyra Banks truly didn't realize the impact of these segments at that time? Or is Jay Manuel right for calling this a revolutionist history now that the public has tuned in to those ANTM tropes?
Looking at it now, it feels like that friendship is just fundamentally broken. You know,
Mm-hmm.
as I was like doing some research, it really hit me how much of this came down to their ages and the power dynamic at the time. Because they were both so young when the show started, and as the years went on, the pressure clearly changed them. And from what I can gather, they actually tried to move on from that show way earlier than he did around cycle 8, but Tyra basically refused to let it happen. Because kind of sounded like he felt like this massive pressure to stay because he was terrified of being blacklisted from the industry if he
Mhm.
left against her wishes. Because that is such a heavy weight to carry, especially when you think of someone as your close friend. And then there's this whole situation with the rest of the cast. While watching the docuseries, I remember there being this huge cloud over why Nigel Barker, who was a photographer from the UK, left. And I recall some rumors that Tyra actually fired him, even though she made statements later trying to frame it differently. This is part of what I think happened and what I heard. I don't really know for sure or what happened. All I know is that there were some concerns about Nigel leaving America's Next Top Model. But when you add everything coming out now, not just with Jay, but Miss Jay Alexander, who was the runway coach of the show, and others, it's just wild. I mean, Jay even talked about how Tyra would ignore him the second the camera stopped rolling, because it's
Yep.
so fucking crazy to think that while we were watching this perfect trio of Tyra, Jay, and Nigel on our screens, like the reality behind the scenes was total mental welfare. Because it
Hmm.
really makes you look at those old episodes in a completely different and honestly pretty sad light. That, like those episodes have not been watched the same as it was before.
Okay.
I, to answer the question though, I feel like Tyra answered y'all question. She said y'all niggas was bored during COVID and y'all was watching this shit with the 2020 lens. Am I lying? Like she said it in the first 5 minutes. She knew that the shit was crazy, but guess what? Baby girl was getting paid. Baby girl was getting executive credits. And then also, if y'all watched the documentary, while the seasons were airing, she had a whole last TV talk show on the other side of the country. So without saying it, she didn't give a fuck. She was getting paid. And I'm not gonna lie to y'all. When I first started my job that I got fired from, fuck them. Yeah, some of them were my best friends. They were great. They were lovely. When I quit or when I left, do you think I called any of them? No. Do you think I have them on Facebook? No. Do I have them on Instagram? Not after tonight. I won't. So it's just one of those things where shit hits the fan and we just get over it. Unfortunately, they're getting their 15 minutes of fame all over again. But I want to say since the show ended, they have their own successes, they claim.
This will happen to T. Okay.
What happened?
When it came to Jay Manuel had other things and other projects coming. He
Hmm.
felt a little bit bombarded by the nationality swap. He said he realized
Yeah.
in that season, in that episode, he had lost the reins, the drive, the rule, or whatever control that he had with directing those photo shoots. That was strike one. Two, for Nigel Barker. Nigel Barker, they wanted a straight photographer. He very much so
Mm-hmm.
was straight, but that
Mm-hmm.
motherfucker didn't have 3 kids when the show first started.
Clock it.
By the time he got fired from the job, he had 3 children.
Mm.
So personally, like an agreement is, I am the number one go-to photographer. Most of these things, Tyra did photo shoots, Janice took pictures. They had other like sports kind of specialty
Yeah.
photographers come through, but he was the main contracted photographer. That's what screwed or crossed him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Miss J, the catwalk instructor, he taught Tyra Banks how to talk, been on her since she was 16 years old.
That
That
part.
was shade upon shade upon shade, because that's like Uncle Grandpa TT. You just fired, right? Now back
Yep.
to J. Manuel. Back to J. Manuel. She first curated this show with him. They thought of a lot
Mm.
of the segments and the ideas with him. She said that
Okay.
there is ever a problem, anything, call me, tell me, talk to me. He sent her an email. He
Mm.
sent her a email. And if Tyra would speak, because she does not speak on him, but if she
No.
spoke of that situation, like she said in the text or the email, I am disappointed. You ain't even call me. You didn't let me know.
Yeah.
You see what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
that was fucked
That's
up.
that. That's where it all changed. Then she was playing chess, not checkers. So when the team, when UPN went under new management or ownership,
Mm-hmm.
they were cutting the budget. Whether the production wanted to cut the budget, he wanted to cut the budget, or she was like, "We gonna find a way to cut the budget and get these because on my face."
Oh, and I
You
mean
know what I'm saying?
immediately.
Because but this is the gag. When Jay sent her that email, he was
Mm.
under the pretense or under the pressure that I'm going to get blacklisted, and he stayed on, right? Now
Yes.
we're continuously moving on forward. And like I said, at that moment, when it went under new ownership, that was when they cut them out. Because they said I had to get rid of this, this, and this. And she didn't have to.
Pocket.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to say, despite the friendship that they have now, if there was a
Or
problem, I
non
wouldn't have sent
thereof.
the yeah, but I wouldn't have sent a fucking email. If I consider you a friend, I'm calling your phone. I'm like pulling up at your private jet. That's how I feel. So I feel like the email part, I
911.
don't know.
Hit me, call me.
Yeah, like I would have sent the email. It would have been a discussion. It would have been a text message before an email. I just feel like, respectfully, who checks emails? Unless you expecting something. I'm not communicating via email business, if that makes sense.
Think about
But
it like this. Chestnut checkers.
yeah, I guess. But
Once,
if
no,
we
listen.
work together,
Once she fired them, the season's rating went down 54%. 54%.
yeah, it was a shit show. Models in space, models in the water. It definitely went downhill. Rightfully
Mhm,
so.
mhm, mhm.
Child.
It's all in the past. What's next on the docket?
Is that me?
Yes.
Oh shit. I'm bad. Okay. Moving on to a story that's honestly just infuriating. We're heading down to New Orleans, which would have been a beautiful seventh birthday celebration at a Mardi Gras parade turned into a complete nightmare. A young girl was out with her family at the Crew of Trucks parade when she caught what she thought was a regular Barbie doll thrown from a float. But when she looked closer, it was a black doll with a string of beads tied tightly around its neck. The city leaders, including the mayor and the attorney general, have stepped in, calling it disgusting and abhorrent. The crew of trucks
Mm-hmm.
have already terminated 2 writers who were identified as being involved. And there's a full investigation into whether this was a targeted hateful act. It's it's a stark reminder that even in spaces meant for joy and community, we still have people trying to signal hate. The family mentioned that their daughter's innocence was taken away that day because they had to have the talk much earlier than they planned. How do we as a community protect Black children from this kind of psychological harm, which when it's disguised as a parade fund? You guys, what do you think of this? That's
I saw it
racist,
on
in my opinion.
Instagram, and I am beyond disgusted. What happened in that event in New Orleans is not just outrageous; it's honestly sick, and I honestly believe it's something that should have never ever happened. Because we are talking about a 7-year-old little girl on her birthday. She's at a parade. She's excited. She's just trying to catch bees and toys like every other kid. And some grown adult on a float decides that this is the right time to be hateful. I mean, it's 20 fucking 26 for crying out loud. We aren't even like halfway through the year, and yet we're still seeing this kind of ignorance, whether it's happening right in front of us or all over social media. So I'm honestly glad those writers had their memberships terminated immediately, and I hope they face every single bit of accountability coming their way. Because we have to stop letting people play in our faces and hide behind the word tradition. There is no tradition on this earth that justifies traumatizing a child. And let me be crystal clear. There is no excuse. None. Zilch. Whether they claim it was intentional or just a joke, which it isn't, is reprehensible. And I will never understand how anyone could think that this was okay. And for the people who might not get to the full weight of this, I want to talk about the crack pipe imagery that was involved in the
Mm,
on the float. There is a deep, painful history there. According to the National Library of Medicine, during the 80s and 90s, the crack epidemic absolutely devastated Black families and inner city communities. It wasn't just a drug phase, it was an obsession that tore apart support networks and put impossible pressure on families who were already struggling with poverty. So when people use those images as a prop or a joke, they're literally mocking the destruction of Black lives and the trauma of entire generations. Because there is
mhm.
absolutely nothing funny about it. It's a deep-seated wound, and throwing that in the face of a child is just as low as it gets.
So, was the implication of throwing the doll down like it was a hung person or a hung doll? Was that it?
Yeah. Yes. Yes. It was basically representing them and basically lynching during slavery.
That's
Okay, no,
horrible.
okay. Now, I don't want to be the devil's advocate, and I'm not trying to be the devil's advocate.
Okay.
I'm just trying to see strings of beads, a thing in Louisiana. I'm just asking, was it like a,
Around his neck.
Around the neck.
no. Like, was it like gold and purple and yellow and green? Like, was it like stacked? Like was it to look
It's
a certain way? Was it misinterpreted? I
I
didn't
think
see
it
the
was just
video.
simply a Barbie doll that was black with that type of, you know, like I get
Oh, like
where you're
a
coming from.
Barbie?
Yeah, it was a Barbie doll. It was a Barbie doll. So I don't think they went into
Okay, now that makes
theatrics
sense to
like
me.
that. But the way that I look at it is it was targeted. There's no other way to not look at that. They saw a little black girl and thought, that's the one. We're gonna fuck up her day. That's how I look at it. Because what would they have done? Like, what would have been the implication if a white child had got that? Would have been the idea if a Mexican child got that. It was targeted. They found a
Well,
black girl. They they got her.
now that you
Unfortunately.
say it's a Barbie, I was thinking about, they have those dolls with like Tootsie Roll hair.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm thinking about some type of, like
Nah.
even like a Raggedy Ann kind of doll.
Yeah,
I didn't
nah.
I
It was
didn't
a
know it was a
simple
Barbie.
Barbie
Like, yeah,
doll.
that's very, very significant. But now
Yeah,
you get what I'm
uh-huh.
saying. If it was like another
Mm-hmm.
type of doll, like, was you trying to dress it up or do something with it? If I
Absolutely
get it.
not.
Now, speaking as a parent, wrong, would have knocked your ass right out that motherfucking floor. And fuck around to find out. That's what happened. It would have been an FFF. Fuck around to find out and your ass would have been floating. And
Yeah.
floored. That's F. But, but guess what? You can't keep blackness down. You
No.
just cannot. So sorry, white. I'm so sorry, white. And I'm speaking in colors. White, tan,
Oh,
beige.
orange.
Can't keep us down because guess what? Black is a collective of every motherfucking other color in the crayon box. You know, if
Mm.
you go to the beauty supply right now and you were to buy black dye, there's a
Oh,
blue base dye, there's a green base black, there's a
mm.
violet base black, and a red base black. All that shit
Not
is,
you got
we
options.
own all that shit. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, and I'm so sorry. You know, maybe they'll be albino in their next life. How about that? How about that? We have a massive story breaking that feels like a historical shift. On Thursday, February 19th, which was actually his 66th birthday, the former Prince Andrew, now known as Andrew Mountbatten Windsor,
Hmm.
was arrested by the British police.
Oh,
This isn't just another headline. It's the first time in nearly 400 years that a senior royal has been taken into custody. The arrest follows the massive release of over 3 million documents from the Jeffrey Epstein files earlier this year. Specifically, authorities are investigating him for misconduct in public office. The files revealed emails suggesting that while he was serving as a UK trade envoy, he was forwarding confidential government reports and investment briefs, including sensitive info about Afghanistan, directly to Epstein. King Charles has already made a statement essentially saying that the law must take its course and that the royal family is cooperating fully. Andrew was held for about 11 hours of questioning before being released under investigation. Meanwhile, the British government is now reporting considering the unprecedented step of formally removing him from the line of succession. It is a complete fall from grace and is showing that the royal shield might finally be cracking. Andrew Mountbatten Windsor is the first senior royal arrested in centuries, largely because of the ties to billionaires like Epstein. Does money make you corrupt, or does it provide a louder stage for your character you already had?
mm.
Who want to take a bite
That's
of this apple first? Who want to burst this bubble?
I
I
honestly had to Google.
Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm.
To answer your question, Adonis, I honestly think it depends on the situation because at the end of the day, having $1 million in your bank account doesn't put you above the law. No leadership role, no amount of money, and no social status, no CEO title should ever be a get out of jail free card. And I've always felt like that Prince title was basically used as a shield to dodge accountability. But with everything coming out of these Epstein files, the evidence is just too loud to ignore. And we're talking about someone allegedly handling over confidential government data like it was just a hot gossip to share it with a convicted sex offender. Because that is the literal definition of an abuse of power. It kind of reminds me of that old saying, be careful of how you treat people on your way up because you're definitely going to see them again on your way down. And I'm actually really glad to see King Charles taking a firm stand and saying that the law has to take its course. Because that old royal era of never complain, never explain is officially dead and buried. Because if you're using a public officer and taxpayer funded status to do shady business with someone like Jeffrey Epstein, you deserve to face the music just like anyone else.
Yeah, I'm not too familiar with the Royals, so I don't know anything about them. I know they have a whole new, well, not whole new, they have their whole way of doing things. I never really, so I don't understand it. I just never really got into it because it's not something that, Americans had to worry about. Rest in peace to Queen Diana, though. Princess
Oh,
Diana.
Princess Diana. No, no.
That's the only royal I feel like Black people love and knew. So
Okay, so the question said, you go back to the docket. The question said, excuse me, does money make you corrupt, or does it provide a louder stage for the character you already had?
oh, I say both because I'm evil. So imagine if I had
Characteristics,
some money.
yes. I was gonna say
Hmm.
characteristics, some and or most are acquired. You're learned them, you're taught them, you aspire to them, right?
Hmm.
Characteristics. You want to be bossy, you want to be assertive, you want to be honest, you want to be straightforward. You look at these things and qualities other people have. Well, where it says does money make you corrupt? This is a full 360 circle picture of what we're actually going through governmentarily, internationally, with our government, the British government, and all these other who's, rich is rich in these other countries. It seems that if a unwarranted amount of wealth can provide you some type of security, that may be true. But if you are operating outside the lines of something that should be secure, then you're opening up the door to vulnerability. It's like walk into a gunfight with like two tops of a tin garbage can. It's not a bulletproof vest. All the bullets won't penetrate, but some of them will. And you will get hit. And when it goes through, that penetration you will not be able to deny. There's no impact. It's not taking back the impact, right? So what I mean when I say that is rich, security, protected does not allow you to operate in reckless behavior. If you drive reckless in the rain, you probably gonna slip and slide and hit the wall, tree, or fall off the end. If you are recklessly using drugs, you may possibly OD and die.
Oh.
Yes. If you recklessly out there killing folk, somebody might come bust you in your motherfucking ass and cap you, right? So when you operate recklessly as Prince, no, excuse me, he ain't Andrew Button
Hmm.
Malbut, you know what I'm saying? Him and all of them, right? You done fucked around and found out. You done fucked around and found out. And I hope that these things, the embarrassing part about this whole story is if it's connected to the Epstein files, what about all the American millionaire, billionaire counterparts that were a part of this, whatever these files had, and then nobody been prosecuted, investigated, or anything? Let me say that again. Andrew is no longer a prince for what he did publicly and privately with Epstein. That man was royalty. There is no royalty here in the United States of the America. And what I'm saying is all of the billionaire slash millionaire status folks that are in cahoots with whatever Jeffrey Epstein had going on, not one person has been indicted,
Hmm.
investigated, or arrested. And that is so embarrassing. That is so embarrassing. So, just to bring it back full circle, real common, real casual, like whenever you got in trouble and the police gave you the grace of bringing your child home,
Oh.
and they told you what happened, and the mama said, take their ass on to jail. Don't bring them back here. Don't expect me to come visit. Don't call me when you get there.
Man.
That's what's happening in Britain, not here in America. We could take a lesson today. We could take a lesson from them tea-colored teeth people. Earl Grey to the gum. Come on, nephew. What's next? We burst that bubble. That was good.
Y'all sure did. Well, our next story is a little bit more or of a personal look into the world of celebrity parenting. Singer Leanne Pinnock, known for her being in Little Mix, just gave an exclusive interview with People where she finally opened up about why she's been so firm on not sharing the names or faces of her twin daughters. She's currently promoting her debut solo album, My Ego Told Me. Leanne explained that when her girls were born back almost 5 years ago, she was going through a massive wave of online hate. She said seeing the toxicity of social media firsthand was the final confirmation she needed to keep her kids out of the internet. For Leanne, it's all about autoimmunity. What she wants her daughters to grow up and decide for themselves if they wanted to be famous or live a public life. Even though we don't have the names or photos, Leanne did find a beautiful private way to include them in her art. If you if you listen to the closing track of her new album titled Heaven, you can actually hear their sweet voices at the very end. She mentioned that she cries every single time she hears it, calling only get her favorite song of all time. It's really a moving example of how to balance being a global star with being a protective mama bear. With more and more celebrities like Leanne choosing to keep their kid off the internet, or do you think we're entering an era where parenting is becoming a thing of the past for the famous, or is the pressure of the paparazzi still too strong for most to resist?
Remember who the celebrities were, but it was back in the old days where paparazzi was on celebrities' asses, and they politely made some type of law where you can't record celebrities' children without their consent. Now
Right.
that's cool and lovely, but those are children. I hate to say it. I'm not saying that they don't deserve respect, but at that stage, we probably don't care about them as much. Now, when babies are born, we wanted to see Beyonce's baby. We wanted to see Rihanna's babies, even because she keep popping them fucking out. Sorry, I want the album. We nosy, y'all. We want to see what the babies look like. And sometimes when there's an ugly parent and a beautiful parent, you know, curiosity calls, because we wanted to see what Blue Ivy was
The,
gonna
the
look like.
babies
We
these
did.
days is getting half a glances and double takes. Okay?
Well,
And a
because
half a
most
glance and a
celebrities,
half a glance is on the good side. If
yeah,
you just peek at the baby, don't say nothing, keep going. When you get the
yep.
double back in at the bit, that's a problem.
But celebrities are smarter now. Now they're doing, what do they call it? A reveal. So they got the baby in the bow. The mama done got a fupa on probably. So they're putting it now into their hands. We're gonna show you what we want to show you. Now get off our ass. Because I mean, what we see
Right.
Rihanna's kids now, what on Fenty? We see Beyonce's kid, Blue Ivy is killing it on stage. So I feel like we curious. Americans are curious as
I'm
fuck. We want to
praying
know
for
what's true.
Sir every night. I pray for Sir.
Oh, and on that note,
Rumi get as many cameos as she can get.
I
she
really have to
do.
praise
She do.
Leanne for sticking to her guns on this one because at the end of the day, those are her children. They do,
That's right.
and she
Mm,
doesn't want them on the internet, and that's okay. She mentioned the
nope.
toxicity that she was dealing with when they were born, but we have to be real about the
Mm,
darker side of the web too. Between people using AI tools like Grok to do disgusting things to photos or just leaving creepy, inappropriate comments, and the digital
mm.
world can actually be a really scary place for a child's image. Because this is exactly why I feel like people need to back off and stop telling parents when, what, or how to post, especially when it comes to their own kids. If you choose to share your family online, I feel like there are ways to be smart about it because you've got to think about things like not posting in real time, keeping their school names private, including the teen names, and being mindful of what they're wearing in the photos. And honestly, a huge part of this just comes down to respect. Start asking your kids if they want their picture to be posted. Give them the agency
Yep.
early on. And I love that Leanne is giving her girls a chance to decide who they want to be on their own terms.
Yep. I agree.
We love you, Lillian, and when you give us a looky loo at them damn babies, we'll be waiting. We'll be waiting. How about that? Nephew?
Alrighty. As we kick off Women's History Month here on the Bubble Chat, I wanted to take a moment to shine a massive spotlight on a woman who defines what it means to be resilient, vocal, and absolutely phenomenal. The one and only Taraji P. Henson.
And if you've been paying
Damn.
attention lately, Miss Taraji P. Henson has been everywhere and for all the right reasons. Just this past year, she won another NAACP Image Award for her work in Fight Night, The $1 Million Heist. She even snagged an award for her children's book, You Can Be a Good Friend No Matter What. But what I most love about Taraji is that she isn't just winning awards, she's changing the entire conversation in Hollywood. I would love her to talk about me. She has been incredibly brave speaking about the gender pay gap, especially for Black women. We all remember that emotional interview where she talked about being tired of working so hard and getting paid only a fraction of her worth. She's turned that frustration into action, becoming a leading advocate for mental health through her Boris Lawrence Henson Foundation. She is out here, She is out here making sure our community has access to therapy and that the stigma around mental health is finally broken, shattered into many pieces.
And we are back. I hope you all had a chance to take a second to process everything we just covered. We are shifting gears now, and you know what that means. It's time to dive into my favorite part of the show. Get ready because we are officially entering the music bubble. We've got to get through the segment. So let's not waste any time. Turn the volume up just a little bit higher and let's get into it.
So we're going to talk about music. We're talking about the music bubble, okay?
Okay, I'm about to freestyle.
All right.
Hold on, I'm just playing.
Okay, so these are the things we're going to talk about in the bubble of music, right? So we have Act 3 by Queen Bee. Is it going to be rock? Is it going to be rock? Because I was a little bit confused. She had that leather outfit on, that bob. I just thought she was going on a date. I don't know what happened. It was a date. And then, what do you think? Do you think, is this going to be rock? Are you ready for rock? Like, what, when you think of rock?
I think it's gonna be rock, but at the same time, maybe jazz, because I heard some rumors about her entering the jazz era for Act 3. I don't know for sure, but I feel like it's likely gonna be rock.
Okay,
Beyonce loves Easter eggs. I'm sorry, cut you off. Beyonce loves Easter eggs. She already wore the Tina Turner shirt. So I just want to say it's going to be rock. I can't wait to see how it is. People hated on her with country, and we learned that it wasn't even a country album. It was a Beyonce album. So I can't wait to see.
So I want you to think about it this. So the Renaissance, right? The Renaissance
Yes.
album, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that really was a house album. That was real house music. I thought thick. THIQUE.
Oh.
Boom. Boom, 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 boom. Baby, by the end of that motherfucker, the disco chandelier was spinning in the corner of my room because that motherfucker turned into a whole motherfucking disco house song.
Yeah.
I wasn't even mad at it. And I love her and Grace Jones. Buck up, bitch, buck up, bitch, buck up. I love that. Move, bitch, get out the way. I love all that. Okay, and I'll say all these things to say when so that was her rendition of pop and house music. Okay, so we got her rendition of a love album. We got her rendition of an R&B album. We got her rendition of a grown ass woman album. We have a rendition of a bitch I made her have with my man. Right? You see what I'm saying? Well, there are so many facets to Beyonce. So the question is, I'm trying to think of is like, Michael Jackson was a pop star. Janet Jackson is a pop star. They broke into R&B. They broke into pop. They did the dance thing. Rock and roll. That rock song was Dirty Diana.
Yeah.
That rock song for Janet Jackson was Black Cat.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? But rock to me is like Aerosmith. Dude looks like a lady. Or Pink. The song by Aerosmith, Pink is my favorite crayon. Like, it can come in many sounds. Many sounds. So I'm just trying to, I just want to stay in key and on pitch with the shit that she's bringing. Now, moving forward and on to the next. So, we just finished up the Brandy and the Monica tour. It was so nostalgic, was it not? And currently speaking right now, we have Toni Braxton, New Edition, and Boyz II Men on tour, correct?
Rewind it. I just saw Total, who them niggas, 112, and who
She
else
said,
did
who
I
them
see?
Did you say
What's
who
his
them
name? I forgot their name.
Did
I
you say
left
who
during
them
this set. I left during this set. I wasn't there for them. I was there for Total. Oh, in Case. I was there for
Okay,
Case.
all right. See,
I was there for Case and Total. So yeah.
And then
Sorry.
in coming for the young kids, for the YNs, for the about to be old YNs, they got Bow Wow, Jeremiah, B2K, Waka Flocka, Crime Mob. I don't know where A. Marie comes in this lineup, but she's gonna be there too. Now, this one thing, bitches, you need to get on the R&B tour. Now, I said all of those tours to speak on what tour would you put on? Who would you book? Because out of that lineup, A. Marie is a sore thumb.
Yeah.
Our girl, where you fit in at? So what I would do is I would say, "Hey Marie, come here, girl.
Yep.
Sit down right here." And then I would say, "Nivea, you come over here too. Come here, come." And who else? Tisa,
Maya.
Well, I mean, you was just spinning the block with Brandy and Monica, but you come on. Yes. And then we're gonna put you guys together, all right? And who you want to sing first? I mean, last, Mother Faith or Mother Kelly Price?
Oh,
yeah, I think that'd be nice. Wouldn't that be nice? Y'all all get the little do your thing, Yes. Or look, now I don't want to be disrespectful, but I would do the "And Then There Was Two" tour. It seems that all of our great trios have dwindled down to a duo. It was like when they had left DTB in Africa. She said, "We was the big tree. We was the duo, bitch. Now we're uno." But somebody went uno and they left trio dos. So, and then there were two tour. It would be like TLC, Total, 702. But I would put Changing Faces and Janae on there because there was always two.
Always, yeah.
Right?
Who them girls? JS. With the ice cream. Come and get a taste of my ice cream.
Salt and pepper.
Oh, my bad.
Oh, that's so scandalous.
That's a good one.
We just gonna leave
Cinderella
out in the cold.
You know what? While we at it, get the Migos together. Am I wrong?
Don't say that.
I mean, it's two of them, ain't it?
Yeah, Takeoff died.
I'm sorry.
And remember dude from H-Town, he passed away, so bring them two niggas on too. Bring them niggas on too. Okay, listen, now I want to do a grown man about to sing me down the door, hallway, a walk of shame group
My
tour.
panties
I
on
mean,
stage.
a
Like,
man tour. I'm gonna put Joe and Anthony Hamilton on the tour.
okay, okay.
Either one of
Now
them.
I'm gonna need.
I want Anthony to really to close it. I want Anthony to close it.
I need Genuine in there.
No, Genuine can't sing. You might like looking at him, but he really can't sing.
Yeah, that's I need. I candy. Damn it.
But I mean, but who look good?
Look
Who
at
look
Anthony
good?
Hamilton ass.
You can listen to him though, and think
No,
about.
I want to look.
Okay. Ooh, let me not act like ain't nobody cute out there that can
Yeah,
sing.
throw some eye candy out there. Okay, do you want bras and panties on the stage or not?
What's that boy name? Love you like a brother, fuck you like a friend. Whoa, whoa,
Miguel,
whoa, whoa. Is he?
you
Act
know
right.
what? I saw him. He
He
can
know
get
how to
it.
sing.
Yeah, I
I mean, I
mean,
will put
but
Bruno Mars out
well,
there, but
last time he jumped on the bitch and broke her neck, so he can't do that. He can't do that. He got to control his stage presence. So we gonna just cut him out. No,
I don't know if he did that.
that's a liability.
That's too much.
Yeah, we don't.
Is
You know
that?
what? We'll come back to
That's
the
so
dream
soft.
team.
Wait a minute. Wait
Hmm
a minute.
He was feeling himself. Yeah.
I not like that. I don't like that.
Well, the bitch got to get
Mario?
enough. So
Could we put Mario on there?
I will fuck him. Yes.
See, all right. So we're gonna open
Hmm
it up with Mario.
Mario.
No,
Well,
we're
hold
not gonna
on
open
now.
it with Mario. Yeah, we're gonna
No,
open it
he.
up Mario. Mario.
You know what?
So I would do Mario, Tank,
Oh,
and Anthony Hamilton.
okay. I like that. I like that. That could be a cute Valentine's Day little thing.
And
Got
if
me
we
some
did a
Memphis
girl,
lace.
excuse me. With the girls, it was Nivea, A. Marie, Lil Mo, and Lil Mo. You
I'm
don't
gonna
like
keep them
Lil
top to
Mo?
myself. I mean, it's only like three songs I can
Cause she know
fuck
how to
with.
sing though.
She do, but it's only a good three songs I can fuck with. I need longevity. Like you gonna do a
But
three
you know they
minute?
always got a cover, and she got hella features.
She do,
She
yeah,
got
she
about
do, she
five
do,
songs worth of
she do.
features.
Well, yeah.
You know,
Hmm
she's singing. She can sing the whole Ja
Okay,
Rule thing. He ain't
so it's
never
gonna
had
be
to
a
say a
10
word,
minute set. Got it, got it.
right?
Yeah, I
Well,
fucks with that.
I think we just popped the fuck out of that music bubble. And just like that, we have reached the end of another fantastic and awesome episode of The Bubble Chat. I want to say a huge thank you to every single person who is tuning in right now for hanging out and being a part of this community. I know there are a million places and things that you could be doing right now, but the fact that you are here with us right here means the world to all of us. And if you enjoyed this conversation, do me a quick favor. Hit the subscribe button, motherfucker. Whatever
What?
platform you're on, just subscribe. You listening now? Stay tuned. Get into it. And if you're feeling the love, leave us a rating or a review. It's the best way to help the bubble grow. Keep this motherfucker sloppy and soapy, okay? Keep these
Oh,
conversations going. Don't forget to follow us on social media and stay updated throughout the week. And remember, your voice matters. Your perspective is unique, and you've always had a seat at this motherfucking table. And ain't no red table talk up over here, okay? This the
no.
black tablecloth. Sweep
G.I.
under the
Jada not
you
gonna
sweep it
get
under
you.
the table, and we talk about it after dinner. Goddamn it! But until next time, I want you to stay safe. I want you to keep it real and have those conversations that are flowing. This has been the Vocal Chat, and we'll catch you